Hey everybody, welcome to 2024. Sorry I couldn't get back to you during the holidays. Had a lot of running around from, I guess it would have been the 23rd to about the 28th, 29th. Kind of had a couple of days there I was going to get back to you. It was the long weekend. So I thought, why not just get everything, because I was going to talk about a little bit about the Premier Hockey League, Premier Women's Hockey League, the day one with WWE, maybe some, soccer, football, basketball, hockey. But let's just get right into it. The XFL and USFL. I think the USFL. I thought that was the soccer league. It's actually USL. That's the soccer league. USFL and XFL are going to have a tournament called the UFL, United Football League. I think their champion, the USFL's champion, Michigan, is going to be versus Arlington, which of course champion versus champion makes sense. College football, Michigan upset Alabama and Washington upset Texas, and right now it's a Goliath versus David, and who knows? Washington has been both undefeated. One's gonna end up having a loss at the end of the season, and one's gonna be undefeated for the rest of eternity. Wolverines versus Huskies. It's good football, good college football, transfer portals. You know, everyone's going to different schools. It's not just Georgia, not just the SEC. Everybody wants to be a part of those other schools. Look, or in next year there's going to be a different bracket system. So people are gonna, the top four teams are gonna have to verse a team that plays in, and it's gonna be good. So I like the fact that they're changing that, but we'll see what happens. I think it's next season. I could be wrong. It could be 2025 they implement that, but regardless, let's see a new champion that's not in the SEC. Because the last how many years since Ohio State, like I was like, I haven't seen Oklahoma in near there, so and they usually get pretty good. They usually do good. In the playoffs. So I'm happy. We're gonna get to see a lot of good football. We're gonna see different teams like Ole Miss and Penn State and them, and it's just good college football. These are all the young stars that we're going to see in the near future. These are the future, and if Deion turns that franchise around, like I can't. Like it's gonna blow. It's mind blowing what he's been able to do and what he did for the first how many weeks. He just needs a couple of big boys, and maybe Alabama doesn't win for the first time in 4 years. Who knows? Who knows? There's a lot to talk about for future's sake, but let's focus on this year. Right now, let's go. Yeah, WWE Day 1. Rock returns, Jinder Mahal returns. There's talks of AJ Lee, Mickie James, and all these different people coming back to the Royal Rumbles, and or to the both men and women Royal Rumbles. And let's be honest. I can't wait. There's gonna be a new champion come April. Maybe a new heavyweight champion come sooner. But Elimination Chamber. Then we got I think that's in Perth, Australia, and then we got Backlash in France, and then of course the Bash in Berlin in August. So we got a lot more than just going to Saudi Arabia when it comes to WWE. That merger has been nothing but gracious. So we might see a lot of people inducted this year into the Hall of Fame. Hey, I got to see Rey Mysterio into the Hall of Fame, and that was a blessing and a half. So let's cannot wait to see what happens here in the near future. See if Karrion Kross brings back the long-awaited tag team. everyone's talking about. So I don't want to kill it. So yeah, let's also talk about a little basketball, right? Yeah, let's talk a little basketball. Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, Miami doing good. Orlando, Indiana, all doing good. Knicks and Cleveland in the last two spots, 7th and 8th. Brooklyn after going from 9th to whenever. Brooklyn, Chicago, Atlanta, and of course Moaz, Toronto Raptors. It's a young team. We'll see what happens, but I hope we make a 9th spot. We did last year. Going to the West, we got Minnesota, OKC, who Shea Gillis, Canadian, killing it, and I'm enjoying everything from that. Denver number 3, Clippers number 4, Sacramento 5, New Orleans, Dallas, and then the Suns. Of course, Houston, Lakers, and Golden State, all in that other one, in the outside looking in. This is the start. This is not even the All-Star break. Pump the brakes on. Oh, this is my predict. I don't have no predictions, not yet. But by the way it looks, Minnesota and OKC will be a threat in the West. I don't mind Philadelphia because they're a team that needs to, people aren't looking at. Like, they have a great caliber team. Don't sleep on the Sixers. That's all I'm going to say. Don't even sleep on the Magic. A little bit of hockey. Right now, we're at the halfway point. Not at the All-Star as well either. But, we got Boston, Florida, Toronto, Tampa, Rangers, Hurricanes, Islanders, and Philly. Of course, Washington, Pittsburgh, and Detroit outside looking in. This is just the start. Those Detroit got hot, kind of cooled off lately. Pittsburgh were hot. They played last night. They also played tonight. So, and yeah, and so we'll see. Hopefully we can my Penguins, get a little bit more healthier, and then we make a run. Look, it's been hard the last couple of years, but I've stuck with it, and I'm faithful. I'm not gonna leave my Penguin side just because we've had a little bit of bumps in the road this year. Looks like for the West, we got Colorado, Winnipeg, Dallas, Nashville, Vancouver, Vegas, Los Angeles, and Arizona actually slipped into the final spot. Edmonton, Seattle are outside looking in. Now, if I was to take a guess, but Arizona has been playing good. Seattle's been also playing good, so who knows? Edmonton, they could get the benefit of the doubt because they have fucking the greatest players in the world. Like, honestly. Like, fucking McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, they got Darnell Nurse. Like, they got a loaded team. The fact that they're outside looking in and looking at Arizona, that's a problem. They can address that problem, but we'll see if they can address that. Let's talk a little NCAA basketball. Of course, Caitlin Clark stunned everybody with that, 3-point buzzer beater. I'm hoping for my Tar Heels, for us to get back into the mix of the tournament and not just first round knockouts like we've had the last couple of years. It's been difficult. Oh, it's been difficult. But coffee is for closers. And now it is time. Respect to the Pittsburgh Penguins. All right, let's talk some Champions League. I know that's why everybody, if you do tune in, we talk a lot of Champions League. My Paris Saint-Germain squeaked on in. Unfortunately, we lost one out of the 3 matches. We lost again. I'm pretty sure we lost to... Yeah, we lost to Newcastle, but in the long run, we beat Dortmund and of course AC Milan. And now we have a very, very big matchup against a very solid, undefeated team in Champions League called Real Sociedad. 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 I hope I'm not mispronouncing that. People are shunning them out. I don't want to do that. I give everybody that respect. That is the one thing. They are a very good team. They've been playing good, despite they haven't been in Champions League for a while. From what I've seen, don't sleep on them because it's 2 matches and PSG, my Le Bleus. We don't. The second leg will be in Spain, so let's not sleep on them. Let's take every team seriously. You take everybody seriously. You don't sleep on nobody. But let's talk about the other matchups. From this, Manchester City will take on Copenhagen, which was a group stage matchup last year, and that did not go well for Copenhagen. They did better later down, they did better than some of the other teams, but Manchester City just absolutely throttled that entire group. And again, they throttled their entire group again. They're undefeated. Let's not. It's Real Madrid, undefeated. Bayern Munich, undefeated. Atletico Madrid, undefeated. There's just you can't. You just can't take anyone lightly. Arsenal. Oh, 1 loss. Still, Arsenal will be taking on FC Porto. PSV Eindhoven will be taking on Dortmund. Inter Milan will be taking on Atletico Madrid. Forgot to mention that. I apologize. Lazio will be taking on Bayern Munich. Red Bull Leipzig will be taking on Real Madrid. And of course, Napoli, the Serie A winners of last year, will be taking on Barcelona. Of course, the Spanish winners of last year. So let's but unfortunately this time around, teams that did not make it include Celtic FC, include Newcastle was eliminated. Antwerp was the first. Royal Antwerp, the Belgians were unfortunately eliminated after 4 games. Salzburg lost in the last match to Benfica. Benfica slipped in to Europa Conference. Unfortunately, Union Berlin were eliminated as well. Sevilla not eligible to qualify for even Europa were eliminated. So a lot of big teams were eliminated this year. Man United, both Newcastle and Man United, eliminated. 2 dominant teams. Absolutely stunned by Champions League. So that's that for Champions. And we'll see that in February and in March, which is definitely going to be fun. I have no doubt that it's going to be a fun time. Let's get to Europa and Europa Conference, which I am looking forward, of course, to the Champions League final at Wembley Stadium, but also the Europa Conference final in Dublin, Ireland, or Europa Conference in Athens and Europa in Dublin. I apologize. I do apologize. I was getting confused there. I was looking at my notes. So I do apologize. No, Europa Conference at Athens, and I think in the AEK Athens stadium where it's going to be held. So let's hopefully see a couple of Greek teams from their Super League. But let's get into the play-ins and the winners of Europa. of course, West Ham, Liverpool, Brighton, Bayer Leverkusen, Villarreal, Atalanta. The Glasgow Rangers moved into first place in their division, and of course Slava Prague, who are 4-1-1 in their division. But Brighton, 4-1-1. West Ham 5-0-1. But only team, Leverkusen, undefeated. And if I was to pick a team like a super from one of the top 6 European countries, it'd probably be Bayer Leverkusen. They just played a lot better. As much as I have faith in Liverpool, of course, it being in Dublin this year, the final, one of those, they're Brighton or Liverpool or even West Ham, it is what it is. But Slava Prague, do not sleep on them. Unfortunately, with that said, the teams that were demoted from Champions League, Galatasaray, Shakhtar Donetsk, Young Boys, Feyenoord, Rotterdam, RC Lens, and AC Milan, Braga, Benfica. And to be honest, it's tough, getting that third spot, because now you're getting put up against the runners up in each group. Now let's get to the runners up in Europa: Sparta Prague, Marseille, Sporting CP, Roma, Freiburg, Rennes, Quarberg, and Toulouse. So we got. Let's just take a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4 French teams, and of course Paris Saint-Germain is the 5th, which means, if I'm correct, also Lille are the group winners in Europa. So all 6, or yeah, all the French teams, if it is, they're all registered going into the next round, which to me is the first time. That's, Paris Saint-Germain being the only Champions League one, but everyone else, that's pretty good. And then you look at all the German teams. I think there's 2 or 3 German throughout all 3 divisions. You got all 3 Portuguese teams in there. Feyenoord, you got both Netherlands teams, both Czech teams, both Slava and Sparta Prague. You got 4 of the or 5 the Italian teams. So everybody, there's a lot of, and of course just a real bag full of English Premier League teams. Let's not even get started. Literally the best ones. You got West Ham, Liverpool, Brighton. You got Aston Villa, Manchester United, Arsenal. So you already labeled 7 there, and it's just, but looking at the stats, for the most, out of all the most goals, it looks like if you look at the Champions League, the team with the most goals, the best differential, Athletic Madrid, Manchester United, both, at 11, and then you look at even the runners up, and you got teams scoring 14s. The Sporting CP at 10-6, and Roma at 12-4. They're really good. You got Liverpool, who are plus 10. You got Bayer Leverkusen, who's plus 16. It's just ridiculous. Teams that are just blowing people out. But right now, Galatasaray will verse Sparta Prague for of course, the play-ins. Shakhtar will take on Marseille. Young Boys will take on Sporting CP, Feyenoord will take on Roma. The inaugural Europa Conference Championship. That's going to be a good one. It's our Lens will take on Freiburg. AC Milan will take on Rennes. Braga will take on Quarbeg. This is Benejani. And Benfica will take on Toulouse. Who comes out of there? No one knows. But right now it looks like 1, 2. It'll be so Toulouse, Quarbeg, Rennes, Freiburg, Roma, Sparta. Who else is? Yeah, and looks like Toulouse, Quarbeg, Rennes, Freiburg, Roma, Sporting CP, Marseille, and Sparta Prague will all have home field advantage. And and so of course the finals will take place in Dublin, Ireland, and so cannot wait. Let's look at now Europa Conference. Of course, the winners: Lille, Aston Villa, Club Brugge, Fiorentina, Fenerbahce, the Turkish winners there, or not this year, but I think they were their in-season champions there. Thessalonica, PAOK, Victoria Plzeň, the Czechs, and Maccabi Tel Aviv, the Israelis, who are into the next round, of course, the winners of each group. Now, of course, the runners-up will take on third place team in Europa. Of course, the third place team in, of course, the Norwegian Molde, Olympiacos, the Greek team, Sturm Graz, Royal Union St. Gilloise, Real Betis, Maccabi Haifa, the other Israeli, Ajax, and Servette, the Swiss, will take on Legia Warsaw, the Polish, Ferencváros, the Hungarians, who are undefeated as well, going into Europa Conference play-ins. Frankfurt, Bratislava, Dynamo Zagreb, Gent, Bodo Glimt, and Ludogorets. So Molde will take on Warsaw, Olympiacos will take on Ferencváros, Sturm Graz will take on Bratislava, Royal USG will take on Frankfurt, Real Betis will take on Croatians, Dynamo Zagreb, Maccabi Haifa will take on Gent, Ajax will take on the Norwegian, Bodo Glimt, and Servette will take on Ludogorets. Yeah. So, with that said, I'm looking forward to all the new year of Europa or UEFA Champions League. Sorry, the tiers. It's just all these good matchups. Like right now, and Norsland, FC Norsland scored the most and were knocked out by Ludogorets. So that could have been another Danish team. Unfortunately, it didn't work out like that. So, doesn't matter how much you score, it matters how much points you get getting into position. You have to be number 1, number 2 when it comes to Europa Conference. Otherwise, you are eliminated if you're 3rd or 4th. Is the unfortunate. But with that said, cannot wait and look forward to the finals. Of course, All these matches are taking place during February 13th, 14th, 15th. And the second one will be in March, of course, a month later. So I appreciate you guys just taking your time. Do I have any predictions? No, I do not, because it's only the round of 16. You do not make good predictions. You make good predictions after. Can I take a guess on who's going to win? Of course. Like I said, I like Leverkusen. I like my boys. I like everyone. I like damn near all the teams. But only 3 will get to claim those rifle trophies. So, of course, 1 in each. Anyway, much love. I appreciate you guys taking your time. Stay safe and just enjoy and take every day not for granted. Enjoy the blessings of 2024. Love you guys.